Thinking about moving? You might want to watch this first, because some states are seeing rising crime, others have sky-high costs and shrinking job opportunities. And one state ranks dead last in America for overall livability. Today, we're ranking the top 10 worst states to live, from bad to absolute worst. And the state at number 1? It's not the one most people expect. If you're planning a relocation, this countdown could save you from a very expensive mistake. Let's get started. Number 10. Nevada. Bright lights and no state income tax might sound appealing, but there's more to the story. Housing costs in Nevada have climbed sharply, especially around Las Vegas and Reno. While wages haven't always kept pace, home prices and rent have surged, putting pressure on residents. What used to feel affordable compared to neighboring California is no longer the bargain many expect. The economy is another concern. Tourism drives a large portion of the state's revenue, particularly in Las Vegas. That means when travel slows down, job stability can take a hit. Economic volatility has been a recurring challenge, especially during downturns. Education rankings and healthcare access also tend to fall below national averages. Certain areas report higher crime rates, and rapid population growth has strained infrastructure in some communities. Add in extreme summer heat and rising insurance costs, and daily life can become more expensive than expected. For many residents, the lack of long-term economic stability is the biggest concern of all. Nevada still offers opportunity, especially in hospitality and entertainment. But when you combine rising housing costs, economic volatility, and public service challenges, it lands at number 10 on this list. And the next state faces even deeper long-term struggles. Number 9. South Carolina. Low taxes and coastal charm attract plenty of newcomers. But affordability and infrastructure tell a more complicated story. Housing prices have climbed rapidly in popular areas like Charleston and Greenville, making what was once a budget-friendly state increasingly competitive. While property taxes are relatively low, rising home values and insurance costs, especially near the coast, are putting pressure on residents. Income levels in many parts of the state remain below national averages, which can make that rising cost of living harder to manage. Healthcare access and education rankings also tend to fall in the lower half nationally, depending on the region. Rapid population growth has brought traffic congestion and infrastructure strain to several metro areas. In certain communities, crime rates are also a concern, requiring careful neighborhood research before relocating. South Carolina offers natural beauty, mild winters, and growing job markets in select cities. But when you weigh income growth against rising expenses and public service challenges, it lands near the bottom of this ranking. And the next state faces even steeper economic hurdles. Number 8. Oklahoma. Low housing prices might grab attention, but affordability isn't the only factor that defines quality of life. Oklahoma consistently ranks among the cheaper states for real estate, with home prices well below national averages. Rent is manageable, and everyday expenses can feel lighter compared to many other parts of the country. On paper, that sounds like a win, but income levels also trend below national averages, which can limit long-term financial mobility. The state's economy is heavily tied to the energy sector, making it more vulnerable to market swings. When oil and gas fluctuate, job stability can follow. Education rankings and healthcare outcomes often fall in the lower tier nationally. In some areas, access to advanced medical services or high-performing schools can be limited. Severe weather, including tornado risk, also adds another layer of uncertainty and potential insurance costs. Infrastructure investment has lagged in certain regions, impacting roads, public transportation, and community development. Rural areas in particular may face limited job diversity and slower economic expansion. Population growth has been modest compared to faster-moving states, which can restrict new opportunities. For many residents, long-term upward mobility remains the biggest challenge. Oklahoma offers affordability and wide-open space, but when you balance lower costs against economic volatility and public service challenges, it ranks near the bottom of this list. And the next state struggles with even deeper income and opportunity gaps. Number 7. Arkansas. Affordable housing is one of the biggest draws here, but cost alone doesn't tell the full story. Home prices across much of Arkansas remain well below the national average, and rent is generally manageable. Property taxes are low, which helps keep long-term ownership costs down. For anyone prioritizing affordability, that's a clear advantage. However, income levels tend to fall below national averages, and poverty rates remain higher than in many other states. Job opportunities can be limited outside of growing areas like Northwest Arkansas, making career advancement more difficult depending on location. Healthcare access and education rankings often place in the lower half nationally. In rural areas, access to specialized medical care or higher-performing schools can be limited. Economic growth has been steady in certain pockets, but statewide momentum hasn't matched faster-growing regions. Infrastructure gaps in certain communities also impact transportation and public services. Population growth has been slower than the national average, limiting new development in some regions. For many residents, long-term financial mobility remains a significant challenge. While Arkansas offers natural beauty and a slower pace of life, the combination of lower wages, limited economic mobility, and public service challenges keeps it near the bottom of this ranking. And the next state faces even greater long-term structural hurdles. Number 6, Louisiana. Rich culture and incredible food are undeniable strengths, but long-term livability faces serious challenges. Crime rates in certain cities rank among the highest in the country, and public safety concerns remain a major issue in multiple metro areas. Housing can be affordable compared to national averages, but insurance costs, especially for homeowners, have risen significantly due to hurricane risk. The state's economy is heavily tied to energy and tourism, which can create volatility during downturns. Income levels tend to fall below national averages, and poverty rates remain elevated in several regions. Healthcare access and education rankings often land near the bottom nationally. Infrastructure challenges, including aging roads and flood protection systems, add further strain on communities. Natural disasters are another major factor. Hurricanes and flooding not only increase insurance premiums, but also bring long-term financial uncertainty for homeowners and businesses. Louisiana offers vibrant culture and strong community identity. But when you combine crime concerns, economic instability, disaster risk, and public service challenges, it ranks near the bottom of this list. And the next state brings even higher daily living costs with its own set of obstacles. Number 5, Alaska. Breathtaking wilderness and wide-open space define life here. But the cost of living can be a serious shock. Groceries, utilities, and transportation expenses rank among the highest in the country. Because many goods must be shipped long distances, everyday items often cost significantly more than the national average. Heating costs during long winters can also add substantial strain to household budgets. Housing prices vary by region, but in major areas like Anchorage, costs are far from cheap. Combine that with higher fuel prices and limited public transportation options, and monthly expenses can rise quickly. Geographic isolation is another factor. Access to specialized healthcare and diverse job opportunities can be limited, especially outside larger cities. Harsh winters, extended darkness in certain seasons, and extreme weather conditions can also impact daily life. While Alaska offers unmatched natural beauty and outdoor adventure, the combination of high living costs, isolation, and limited economic diversity places it in the bottom half of this ranking. And the next state faces even deeper struggles tied to income and public safety. Number 4, New Mexico. Stunning desert landscapes and rich cultural history make this state unique, but long-term livability presents real concerns. Crime rates in certain cities, particularly Albuquerque, consistently rank among the highest nationally. Public safety remains one of the biggest challenges facing residents. While housing costs are moderate compared to many states, income levels tend to fall below national averages, making affordability less impressive than it first appears. Economic growth has lagged behind faster-moving neighboring states. Key industries include energy, government, and tourism, but job diversity can be limited depending on location. Poverty rates remain elevated in several regions, affecting overall economic mobility. Healthcare access and education rankings also tend to fall in the lower tier nationally. Rural communities, in particular, may face limited access to specialized medical care and higher-performing schools. Infrastructure investment has been uneven, impacting transportation and economic development in some areas. Population growth has remained relatively slow, limiting new business expansion and job creation. For many residents, upward mobility can feel harder to achieve compared to faster-growing states. New Mexico offers natural beauty and a slower pace of life. But when you weigh crime concerns, income challenges, and slower economic expansion, it ranks near the top of this list. And the final 3 states face even deeper long-term structural issues. Number 3, West Virginia. Beautiful mountain scenery and quiet communities define life here, but long-term economic challenges remain significant. West Virginia consistently ranks near the bottom in median household income. While housing prices are among the lowest in the country, wages are also considerably lower than national averages, which limits financial mobility for many residents. The state's economy has struggled with the decline of traditional industries like coal mining. Although efforts have been made to diversify into healthcare, tourism, and manufacturing, Job growth has been slower compared to most other states. Healthcare outcomes and public health rankings often fall below national benchmarks, and access to specialized medical services can be limited in rural areas. Education performance also tends to rank lower than average. Population decline in certain regions has further impacted economic expansion and infrastructure investment. Limited job diversity can make career advancement difficult without relocating. For many families, long-term opportunity is the biggest concern. West Virginia offers affordability and natural beauty, but when you combine low income levels, limited economic growth, and public service challenges, it lands near the top of this ranking. And the final two states face even more dramatic contrasts between opportunity and cost. Number 2. California. Opportunity is everywhere here, but so are the bills. California has one of the largest and most dynamic economies in the world. Tech, entertainment, agriculture, biotech, the job diversity is unmatched. Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego offer massive career potential, but the cost of living is where things become overwhelming. Housing prices rank among the highest in the nation. In many metro areas, even modest homes cost several times the national average. Rent is equally steep, and competition for affordable housing is intense. Add some of the highest state income taxes in the country, and many residents feel financial pressure even with strong salaries. Insurance costs have also climbed, especially in wildfire-prone regions. Utilities, fuel prices, and everyday expenses consistently run above national averages. For middle-income families, keeping up can feel like running uphill. Yes, the economy is powerful. Yes, the lifestyle can be incredible. But when you combine extreme housing costs, high taxes, congestion, and rising insurance expenses, California ranks near the very top of this list. And the state at number 1 faces even deeper systemic challenges, without California's economic upside. Number 1, Mississippi. Low housing prices might look attractive at first glance, but deeper economic indicators tell a more concerning story. Mississippi consistently ranks near the bottom nationally in median household income. While homes are extremely affordable compared to most states, wages are also significantly lower, limiting financial mobility for many residents. Poverty rates remain among the highest in the country, and economic growth has been slower than the national average. Job opportunities can be limited depending on location, particularly outside larger metro areas. Healthcare access and public health outcomes frequently rank near the bottom nationwide. Education performance also tends to fall below national benchmarks, which can impact long-term opportunity for families. Infrastructure investment has lagged in certain regions, and upward mobility can be more difficult compared to faster-growing states. While cost of living is low, the lower earning potential offsets much of that advantage. Mississippi has strong communities and cultural heritage, but when you combine income levels, healthcare rankings, education performance, and economic opportunity, it lands at number 1 on this list. Now the question is, do you agree with this ranking? Conclusion. Now, this doesn't mean these states have no positives. Every state has communities where people thrive. But when you combine income levels, crime rates, healthcare access, education, and economic opportunity, these states face significant challenges. Do you agree with this ranking? Drop your opinion in the comments and let me know which state surprised you the most. And if you're planning a move, make sure you subscribe. Your next relocation decision could change everything.